उनके तो हालत हो चुके हैं, उनके तो ऐसी हालत हुई नहीं गई है, उनको उनके ऊपर तो कोई आशा ना रखो। आशा ना रखो कदम।
Wasn't that pleasant for New Zealand last game? Go Haji, 153 was below par. But India made it look so simple, chasing down 153. 10 overs.
मटर रखी है, हाँ अभी याद आया। मटर बात छोटे भगवान कितनी है मटर उम्र गिला
The postman delivered
साला
again.
फुल मटर ही है
Looking lean, he's
हाँ
looking
फ्रीज में रख
fitter.
पाए देर से
The
तेल
pace
पे
was up there.
और बस सुबह उठाई नहीं पाए, गरम कर दिए बात काम कर।
He's got his length right as well. The
और कब बॉल
Yorkers,
निकाल दी।
the hard length, the line immaculate, and length well varied quite a bit. 3 for 17. That third game
ये
player
इतना
of the
टाइम लगा है
match
निकते
as
तो
well. Jaspreet
तो मस्त
Bumrah.
बनाए लगते हैं। बुद्धि तुम मस्त
बढ़िया
है,
मजा आ
तुम
खाली
मस्त
60 पे डाल
Structural
दो।
खाली
best.
फीड पे से डाल दी
Especially
और मसाला तो वहीं से डाल
68
होता है
of
ना
just
ये
20 along with Ishan Kishan, 28 of 13 started it off and then
चलो
finished
आपके ये तो हम बनाए
by the skipper himself, Surya Kumar Yadav.
इधर का हिस्सा उठा दी थी,
Back-to-back half
इधर
centuries
से
for
आगे
Surya
ऊपर
Kumar.
उठा के
57
इनका
and
बैठा लिया फिर अपने
26
उधर से उड़ा
was Abhishek Sharma though.
हाँ जंजीर बाहर कर रही हो
A second fastest
रात में घूमन दो जितना
second
टेबल में
fastest
वो
by
कनम
a
रुके
player
नहीं
of just playing
जिम्मी
decent.
तो बगिए ने
टेबल में बांधे
कलुआ बन के रखे
सीमा बांधे हो सिलेंडर
नहीं
में
कलुआ नहीं बांधे
सिलेंडर बांधे
जिम्मी नहीं बांधे
Abhishek Sharma.
जंजीर दोनों डाल
That blow off the bat.
जंजीर में
Easy that. Effortless. 13 sixes so far in this series. It's
काय
all
पगला है
around the
रो तू
ground.
पगला है
The best part, he hits them equally on the offside as well. Doesn't have that bias on the onside, which a lot of T20I batters do. So good that bat swing. Unbelievable. And it's superb form right through this series. And last 12 months, to be fair, the fastest 150 plus chases versus the
That's over,
States.
that's
A
over.
testing nation. India right up there with that run chase in the last game. 55
ये
in 10.
दारू दारू पिए
That was brutal. While ago, Sam Abdul was down there with the skippers for the toss. And India won the toss again. Third consecutive time that India's won plus chases versus a test playing nation. That was brutal. While ago, Sam Abdul was down there with the skippers for the toss. And India won the toss again. Third consecutive time that India's won the toss in the series. And Surya Kumar Yadav have decided to field first. Time to say good evening to Murli Karthik, but first up would be Ian Smith.
Thanks very much, Deep. Good evening to everybody. New Zealand have made just the one change and brought back Zach Folkes, who was absolutely peppered in an earlier match, but they're going to at least let him go home with some fond memories, hopefully, and that's for Cole Jamieson, who's not on the side. Otherwise, it's unchanged from the side that was obliterated, really, in just 10 overs last time out. The World Cup is just around the corner. They've got to start making some positive moves, the team in black.
Good evening to all.
And one would have thought that having won the series, India would make a few more changes, but just one. Arshdeep Singh is back. Interestingly, Ishan Kishan not there. The skipper at the toss said that he's picked up a niggle, but otherwise this squad looks pretty settled. But the only thing the Indian team would be sweating on is some runs up top for Sanju Samson. Otherwise, the team is looking good. They've done really well so far.
This has been a very high-scoring venue.
Initially, anyway. But no, they haven't done that. Right, Tim Seifert will be the right-hand, left-hand combination. The right hand of the keeper batsman. Also a keeper batsman is Devon Conway, who is probably looking out for a really good score tonight, because if he doesn't get one, Finn Allen arrives for game 5, and it'll probably be at his expense. So they have to get a better start. How can they help the bowlers? They get 220 plus, and then say to India, we've got them on the board. you'll probably get them, but it's going to be harder tonight.
India won the toss again. As Kesaneni Sivana, the president of ACA, and Sana Satish Babu, secretary ACA, rings the bell and announces that we are all set. Game number 4, Tim Seifert. Started out well the series. The first game looked very dangerous. Not so much in the next one. This is a battle amongst a battle here between these two opening batters. Tim Seifert, Devon Conway. Both wicket-keeper batters. Maybe only one of them will find a place in the playing 11 for the World Cup. Decent numbers. Hasn't scored a lot of runs this series. Arshdeep back into the side. India trying out a few combinations, and this evening has chosen to go with an extra bowler, Arshdeep, in place of Ishan Kishan, who's got a little bit of a niggle. The series already in the bag. India can afford to make a few changes and try out a few things. Well, it's now time for the Asian Paints Colour Countdown. Let's see what the trending Asian Paints colours are. Number 4 of the series, Arshdeep to Devon Conway. That bounce. This is a mixture of red and black soil, this surface, predominantly red soil.
Well, we look for him to swing the ball away predominantly from the left-handers, but his variation is the one that goes back in towards them. This was short of the length, but not only did it bounce, it came back quite sharply in towards the gloves of Devon Conway, and that is an area where he is less than comfortable. Not many players like it around the rib cage anyway, but for Devon Conway, it's a particularly awkward area. So Arshdeep Singh, very impressive start, first ball.
It didn't seem as if it was too short. It just came off a length. Slip for Tim Seifert. Oh, that extra bit of bounce again.
So Zach Foulkes comes into the New Zealand side tonight. Otherwise, the batting lineup is pretty much the same, with Santner at 7. They'll require a lot more from the top 3 if they're going to be competitive tonight. Phillips has been in good form. Chapman has shown glimpses, and Daryl Mitchell's had a wonderful time of it here in India. The bowling will be under pressure. We know that. They know that. How will they respond?
Jimmy Neesham and Lockie Ferguson still not available. So is Finn Allen. Leading edge. This is a difficult one for Harshit Rana. It doesn't even get a hand to it. A correction, that's Jasprit Bumrah. It goes all the way to the boundary.
Yeah, tough one. One of the toughest catches in cricket. When you have to backpedal, and that was always leaving. It was swirling. You could see that sitting here in the comm box, trying to flick it. Once again, very similar delivery from Arshdeep Singh, getting a top edge. Look at him. He goes straight, then he doesn't know which way the ball's going to go. Just gets half a hand to it and parries it to the boundary. So a chance early doors, but a tough one for India.
That's pumped down the ground. That's hit hard.
much more comfortable with that line, Tim Seifert. The other one was pitching outside leg and angling across him quite sharply. That's why he got the leading edge as he looked to hit it through the onside. That one, though, was always offside. And he was able to free his arms. The high backlift, the exaggerated backlift, straight over the top of Conway and past the Harshit Rana down here at mid-off. Nicely timed.
Yeah, the Indian bowlers did really well in the previous game. The line that they bowled very, very straight to him, towards his body. Like this, leading edge again, and safe again. A hat-trick of boundaries now. A little unfortunate for Arshdeep.
What are the odds that it is going to happen twice in the very same over to the same bowler and to the same batter as well? Very, very similar.
You could say this is lucky or absolutely magnificent batting to perfect this shot and play it twice in a row. Pitched outside leg again, looking to hit through the onside, and you guys sit there saying that's lucky. That's just out and out skill, surely, to hit it the same spot both times.
And also what's surprising me, Deep and Ian, is that if you are going to bowl that away swinger to the left or to the right-hander, why have the deep fine? Have a third rather than a deep fine.
Nicely bowled. Very nicely bowled. And an expensive first over. A 14 without loss, New Zealand. First over. Arshdeep, last game that he played, he hit 18. That first over that he bowled. Harshit Rana from the other end with the new ball.
It wasn't the best of outings for Arshdeep. Didn't play the previous game, went for 53. In fact, went for 36 in the first two. Ended up going for 53 after bowling a good comeback over. But this is Harshit.
Oh, adventurous.
Off hind leg and third man up inside the circle, so straight away Seifert says I'll use the pace and try and hit it fine. Up and over third man and down the ground with much more authority, and once again down in the air the third man.
That was such a carefully curated shot over third.
Right in his wheelhouse. An early contender for the Apollo Tyres, Colder Distance 6.
Just trying to see what tier this landed in. It was an absolute beauty. It was right in there. It was angling back in. And honestly, Seifert has just nailed that. That would feel very, very sweet off the bat. It has gone a long way back. It's a genuine contender.
Yeah, one of the better surfaces when you look at it. I can tell you that I can compare it to my head, not because it's round, because it's absolutely ball. There's not a blade of grass on that surface. Deep, you did the pitch report. It is so flat. I'm surprised that the two balls actually jumped at the batters.
Well, on that subject, remember I gave you a gift last night? You left it behind. Very ungenerous. It's a wonderful surface. It really is.
Thanks once again, sir.
It's good.
Yeah, for the viewers back home, Ian gifted a comb to Karthik. Karthik doesn't need it. This pitch doesn't need it, surely.
I was going to get him a mirror, but he's already bought all of those.
Yeah, one change today. There was a lot of speculation before the game. In fact, as comms, you're trying to study what's going to happen with India having won the series, but no Ishan Kishan. So Surya Kumar will come at number 3 and Arshdeep Singh is back in the side. So that's the only change India have made. There was this feeling that maybe Shreyas Iyer gets a game.
On the bounce.
Kevin Conway's sitting at the non-striker's end, and he's loving Seifert being on strike at this stage, because we know the battle he's had with Harshit Rana, and it's very, very one-sided. 5 out of 5, and Conway will be quite happy to be sitting there until the end of this over, which is 2 balls away.
Doesn't really get under the ball, under the bounce. It's over covers. Okay, yes, there will be a couple of runs. Very different looking shot. You don't get to see that very often on a cricket field, this one.
Was there a chance for the third? Because when you look at this shot, yes, dug into the surface, taking pace off, did really well. It was getting high on him for him to flat bat it over covers. And then Devon Conway actually was interested for the third. I don't know who said no.
Yeah, he'll take it. 5 out of 5. Harshit v. Devon Conway. No chance of stopping that. Absolutely no chance. 12 from that over. 26 without loss, New Zealand. Fight.
And free cinema tickets. Treats. I'm rather fond of them, aren't you? Vitality, your health's best friend.
It's a really brisk start for New Zealand. 26 after 2. And finally, Devon Conway gets on strike. 12 deliveries, he's faced just 1.
One can imagine what the chat would have been in the New Zealand dressing room with the way India batted in the previous game. That was an absolute hammering. To go past your own target at the halfway stage, that was a hammering and a half. But this one was the last ball of the previous over. Tim Seifert has been ultra aggressive from the get-go.
There's something that Mitch Santa mentioned after the second game. He wanted the batters to be more brave with their approach. It's been so far that way. And especially with Tim Seifert, you do expect that as well. I chipped it over the infield. Only be a single. Generally in the subcontinent, if you are asked to bat first, you've got to be that way. I mean, you having this chat during the last game as well, that middling score 150, 160 means nothing. Try and get to 190, 200, and the process, if you get out by 120, 130, that's so be it. But getting those middling scores of 150, 160 on such good batting surfaces. It's a good hit, straight to the fielder.
Just going back to that playing 11 that New Zealand have picked, Ian. I would like to understand the reasoning behind getting Zach Folks back in the playing 11. Kyle Jamieson is part of the squad now, part of the World Cup squad of New Zealand. Why is he being dropped, whereas someone who's going back been given a game?
I don't understand it either, to be perfectly honest. I think every game you've got to be finding something out and teaching your players something. And bowling under pressure is key to that. And certainly India put you under pressure. I'm with you. I don't quite get it. Unless he's played all the white ball games while we've been here. He was really good in the and the 50 over game, wasn't he, the one-day internationals. There's Lockie Ferguson alongside him. So they're probably two of the starting bowlers in the World Cup in game one.
And something which he also made or said off air was with New Zealand having lost the series, from now on, from here on, every move that they make is gearing up for the T20 World Cup. So it is a bit surprising that they've decided to sit Jamieson out.
It's 4 overs. It's just 4 overs, and very important 4 overs, because you need to be learning where to bowl. To who? You just can't walk away and say, we'll give you a breather tonight. I find it really interesting. Really interesting. However, this is the way they've gone. And we'll see how folks goes. But he's on the plane home in a couple of days.
I was looking at fine leg for the ball. Much better over from Arshdeep. 4 from it, 30 without loss. Yeah, good over from Arshdeep, the last one. Got long on. Oh, that's gone all the way. It kept him interested for a very long time. It wasn't enough. 36 now.
Taller player might have been quite interested in this one.
Here's how I created my latest floral earrings. I love to look for inspiration in nature. I start by shaping the wire, then add finishing touches. I think these turn out really.
One wasn't quite there. It was a slower delivery again, pace off. Seifert must have seen it, because he still made very good contact. Slightly taller player may have been involved there, but right down there, Kuldeep Yadav unable to get up, much to the despair of Harshit Rana.
That's in the gap as well. Much better time this time from Tim Seifert. Then from the first two deliveries of the over.
DP mentioned that he looked good in the first game that he played. As soon as he landed on Indian shores, he looked good even in the last game. He's looking very good today. The intent, the way he's picking these deliveries, he picked that slower one, and as a batter sometimes you also know that what the next delivery could be, and he's done that again to perfection.
Well, he's come from the Big Bash, the BBL, which is a very powerful league, of course, in Australia. So he's been playing at a very high standard. He's been either opening the batting or batting at 3 for the Melbourne Renegades. They didn't make the playoffs, but Seifert had 4 or 5 really good innings there and made a real impact. So when you're playing at a high standard, coming into a team like this, you've sort of leapfrogged some of the others.
He's not holding any prisoners.
Go teams. Take lightning.
Nicely placed. First boundary for Devin Conway this evening.
He's only faced now 6 deliveries compared to Seifert's 17, so he's been a bit of a passenger, but he'll know in the back of his mind that his record against this bowler is woeful. So he's got to come to terms with that, but he's also got to come to terms with the fact that he's got to score quickly in this power play when given the opportunity.
Another expensive over so far. 15 already. Finishes the over the dot ball. 45 without loss after 4, New Zealand.
Nature nourishes life. So, we bottled a bit of it. At Biotaful, we keep things simple. Just billions of live cultures, natural protein and calcium in our kefir yogurts. To support your gut naturally. Pour it, spoon it, scoop it. Switch your yogurt to the UK's #1 kefir and start your gut health journey. Biotaful Gut Health. Feel super, naturally.
So often happens, Jasprit Bumrah.
Huh?
Just one in the power play. Stem the flow of runs at the moment.
कहाँ बचे हो नए?
Little bug in the
बिके
eye.
5 पन्ने. 5 पन्ने भी कह रहे हैं.
He got off to a great start.
Boy.
First delivery to Tim Seifert in the last game. An absolute corker.
सही है.
He's up against the same bowler.
Looking for the same result. Seifert got across a little bit better on that occasion.
हाँ तो ढाई तो बिकी हैं 1.5 पहले से.
Also, he's got a few more runs under his belt than a couple of days back. So that can make a big difference in the way you move towards the ball or just to leave it. 39 out of the 46 that New Zealand have scored so far. Seifert has scored them. Of just 18 deliveries, strike rate over 200, 216.
Good single. Not always easy inside the circle. IDFC first bankable fact. Jasprit Bumrah is the first and only bowler to have 100 plus T20 wickets without ever taking more than 3 wickets in any innings. Got a lot of 2s and a lot of 3s. Straight down the ground from Seifert, gets length and he pounces on it. 50 comes up for New Zealand.
And that's a great shot. It's a great shot because of the way he was waiting for it. The way he just cleared that front foot. Have a look, just a little bit. Big stride forward, but always with the intent of lofting the ball. Look at the way he clears that front foot. Just a little bit, not too much, so that the bat will still come down straight. The intent was to hit it over the side screen, and he's succeeded.
And out in the deep, speed. The one fast bowler's response.
Very typical. Also, I think it's a good thing for New Zealand as well that Tim Seifert is trying to be New Zealand's version of Abhishek Sharma. I think when you have somebody like Abhishek or the way the Indian team batted, you want that kind of a score and you want that kind of a freedom in your head. And that is something which is good to see.
Leg side by Conway on this occasion, but protection out there. Right, just holding shape nicely. Cleared that front leg, as you said, Sonny. Happened to Jasprit Bumrah too often that. Ten from the over, 5 gone, 55 with that loss. Remaining, some haven't been sent into bat. Ravi Bishnoi. The last over, fielding restrictions on. So there's 2 boundary riders. Left-handed Conway it's a long off and a deep mid-wicket. But he can't find the gap. Excellent work.
But that's what happens. You get a scoreable delivery, but you're out of form, so you find the fielder. He hit it hard, but that little cut will also curve the ball towards that fielder. Abhishek Sharma doing a top job.
That's beautifully played. Relatively straight bat over a wideish long on. 7,000 T20 runs for Devon Conway.
It was a bit of a drag down, one would say, from the bowler. Trying to push the batter on the back foot, but a wonderful shot. There again, a half pitcher, but hit straight to that fielder. Was maybe a little slower than the earlier ones, yes, by almost 10 kilometers per hour. 7,000 runs in T20 cricket for Devon Conway.
There's 3 short, wide deliveries that he's had in this over. And he's got 2 runs off the 3 of them.
Yeah, that is what you'll get from Ravi Bishnoi, because he's not the tallest man, and the fact that he bowls more googlies, he will be skiddy and will tend to keep low.
Finds the gap on that occasion, away to the right of Abhishek Sharma.
It's a little bit hard. With just 2 fielders outside the 30-meter circle for protection in the power play for a spinner. Might have been in the air for a while, but it was curving away from him. He's a left-hander, so it was to his wrong side, but nowhere near, nowhere near.
from Conway finishes the power play in style with a maximum 16 from the over, 71 without loss after 6.
भाई 3-4 दिन लगा के बाद छुट्टी कर दे जे।
At Money Supermarket, our mission is to help you be better off. That's why we'll give you a £15 reward when you switch your car insurance. And when you keep switching your household bills with us, we'll give you even more rewards. See how much you could save today with Money Supermarket.
This is the 29th T20 international between New Zealand and India. It is New Zealand's best ever power play.
Just think about Ravi Bishnoi. He was back in the team last game, bowled beautifully, 2 for 18 in his 4-over spell, and this gig can be so humbling that he's already gone for 16 in the first over that he bowled. He bowled in the power play in the previous game. It was not as if he came on to bowl after the power play was done. Started well, finished well, and now it's the turn of Kuldeep Yadav. Bowled really nicely in the second T20 international. Went for a few in the previous one. Tim Seifert has flown away so far.
Yeah, the difference, I guess, too, Kutch, is that it's the freedom you can play with when you're none down. I think when he bowled his first over in the previous game, New Zealand were already 2 down, so under a bit of pressure. At the moment, they're not. And this sort of proves that from Conway's point of view. Ability to throw the arms at the last ball of the power play. Oh! We've got a pitch invader. Just making his or her way across the ground. Not finding anyone's business.
Conway has not been in the best of form, but over here at last over, he covered 16 runs, but given a lot of confidence. It's a cracking shot. Made a couple of shots which went straight to the fielder. So it could have been a very, very expensive over. Also, sometimes in a game, just the way the game plays out is so crucial, isn't it? Imagine he was not on strike when Harshit Rana came on to bowl. It wasn't planned that way. It is just that Tim Seifert ended up playing all those deliveries, not because he wanted to, because he kept scoring off Harshit Rana. And it works. These are the kind of things which need to go in your favour in a game, that it has for Conway so far.
Just leading edge, just over the head of Kuldeep.
मेन तो ये हाइट बढ़ रही है खूब।
He picked it. It's probably going the other way. Yes, the wrong one. He was looking to work it to the onside for a single, so you can see the way the bat face closed. But lucky for him, way above Kuldeep Yadav. Don't think Jameson would have got to it either.
रात को तो लगी है कि ये दिन भर लेटे नहीं अगर दिन में तो ये बात होगी
Sweeps fine. Just be the one. Start from Kuldeep. Just 5 singles so far. Might be looking to put some pressure on this last delivery.
ये बाहर की चाउमीन समझ लो, ये कम करो और मोर खाना ये चाउमीन बहुत नुकसान करती है मैदा वाली।
And he does. Deep into the grandstand from Devon Conway. That is right out of the middle. 82 without loss after 7.
Just see what a few deliveries hitting the middle of the bat can do to a batter's confidence. He has struggled so far. This is a quicker delivery ball. Maybe a hint of a turn away, but he gets into position so well, does Devon Conway. And the ball has gone soaring into the stands. What a sweet connection that.
Tim Seifert equals the fastest 50 for a New Zealander against India in T20 internationals. Now sits alongside Kane Williamson and Ross Taylor. It's a fine opening combination so far, and Seifert brings up his half century.
They needed a fast start, New Zealand, to come back in the series, and it has been provided by Tim Seifert.
Oh, inside edge. Bit of luck, good fortune for Seifert on this occasion.
But you need that. This is the T20 format where the batter's going to try and hit every ball out of the ground or into the stands. So that's what he was looking to do. Gets an inside edge. And because he was already outside the leg stump, it was safe. Yes, the bowler will feel a bit of anguish. It wasn't a bad delivery.
Chance at long off. No, just short.
And he's had that going his way. He's had a bit of luck riding his way from the first over. Been a few which have gone to hand, which were tough. There were others, just like this one, just falling short. That's the kind of luck, as Sunny said, when you're trying to swing hard every ball, you need some luck running your way, and it has gone his way so far.
Well, that is a shot from Devon Conway. One bounce, 4 over extra cover.
They are doing what they saw India do just a couple of days back. They're throwing their bats at everything. This is a very good shot. He's hit it with the turn, got a bit of room outside the off stump. I think that's an area that Krishna will have to look at, because, either you bowl it a little bit wider, but not in the arc.
It's only 3.5 overs ago, Devon Conway was 8 off 10 deliveries. 29 off his next 10 deliveries. That strike rate up to 185. It's a good hand. It should just mean it's only 1, and it will. A good over, though, from New Zealand's point of view. 94 without loss after 8.
Peter Smith? I think it's time we had a chat.
A little birdie told me you posted Argos is only good for toys.
This isn't playtime, Peter.
Easy, Trevor. Time to teach our friend a lesson. Repeat after me. There's more to Argos.
There is more to Argos. He knows he can leave, right?
11.75 is New Zealand's run rate. They'll look to get stuck into Kuldeep here as well. Conway goes over mid-wicket for 6. What a difference a couple of days can make in New Zealand, or 100 for none in the 9th.
Yeah, this is terrific batting. Very, very enjoyable. Like I keep saying, maybe they seem to have taken a leaf out of what India did the other day, and have been doing so far in the 3-match series. Merrily, happily throwing their bats at everything.
This will be pleasing everybody in that New Zealand dugout, because they've been on the receiving end, and just for a change, with this strike rate of 200, they're putting it back on India here. Might be the first wicket though, and it is. Conway looking to hit over extra cover, gets it just a little bit too square, and Rinku takes a very safe catch.
It's a very good fielder, Singh. And what Kuldeep did was he rolled it very wide, so he had to reach out for it. See that? He had to reach out for it. Not too many batters can hit the ball over extra cover for big 6s. Conway found that fielder. New Zealand have lost their first wicket in the 9th over for exactly 100. Conway scoring 44 out of them.
Vitality is here for your health. How? They give you half-price gym membership. Yeah, give me 5 more, Gary. Vitality, your health's best friend.
The Tuscan villa really brought out the romantic in Steve, and a desire for the perfect backhand volley. Oliver's Travels. Why do ordinary?
Rachin Ravindra in his usual spot at 3. New Zealand have made a superb start here for him to build on. Nicely cut off at mid-wicket. Pressure on the new player.
Is this the wicket? Look at that. Didn't quite get power. He just got the elevation. And Rinku Singh had to come in and take that catch.
I know he's a brilliant player in the making, but you feel he's got to get runs at some stage in this series. Rachin Ravindra, if he's going to bat at 3 in the World Cup.
Oh, just looking at the numbers that we put up, his career. Those there, 144 and 4 in the third one. But I couldn't quite believe he's had 112 innings. Am I reading that right or not? Surely not. $38 innings. Figure out what I was reading. 38 innings, but just 350s. When you bat in the top 3, 350s only in 38 innings. That's not acceptable.
No, it's not. Far from it, in fact. Wicket in the over, just to slow things down somewhat. 9 runs from it though, 103 for 1. At this run rate, New Zealand will get 228. That would be brilliant. You would expect India will pick up a few wickets along the way to try and slow things down. If they could get to 246, which is 13 and over from here, that would be outstanding, and that would say to India, you've been very, very good. You're going to have to be very good again and maybe a bit better. That is the challenge New Zealand have here, to continue this on. Now, just like that. Just like that, and the miserable return for Rachin Ravindra continues.
That's a slower delivery. It's 140 plus, but this is 121 kilometers per hour. And you can see very little change in action, nothing. You can see last moment, he twirls his fingers over and he throws Rachin Ravindra off completely. That is the reason why Bumrah is such a great bowler. Ravindra gets out in the first over of the 10th over for 2, 103 for 2, and it's drinks.
A good opening stand, but New Zealand have lost a couple.
Keiko's philosophy was go, go, go. But what she really needed was stop, stop, stop. You were made to take time off. We were made to save you time with easy-to-book packages. Expedia, made to travel, battle protected.
Hello, it's Matt from Verisure. You pressed the SOS button.
Yeah, my phone's died and there's someone in the garden. It's just me and my daughter here. We need help.
Right, the camera is showing someone near the back door. Listen, check everything's locked. We've alerted the police.
Quick as you can, please.
I understand. I'll stay with you till they arrive.
Thanks.
I'm just trying to...
Family unharmed. Intruder fled.
In 2024, we intervened in 4,436 emergencies in the UK. Be safer, be sure, very sure.
Nature nourishes life. So, we bottled a bit of it. At Biotaful, we keep things simple. Just billions of life cultures, natural protein and calcium in our kefir yogurts. To support your gut naturally. Pour it, spoon it, scoop it. Switch your yogurt to the UK's #1 kefir and start your gut health journey. Biotaful Gut Health. Feel super, naturally.
Peter Smith? I think it's time we had a chat.
A little birdie told me you posted Argos is only good for toys.
This isn't playtime, Peter.
Easy, Trevor. Time to teach our friend a lesson. Repeat after me. There's more to Argos.
There is more to Argos. He knows he can leave, right?
Could well be a very special night. This is where it really counts. It really is a spine-tingling atmosphere.
That is absolutely unbelievable. Match day 8 has lived up to the billing, really.
The pace, the power, the finish. Sensational finale to the group stage.
A night of unscripted drama.
He's been in good touch, Glenn Phillips has been. And look at that. What a delivery this from Jasprit Bumrah. Nose left in position. Yes, maybe opening the face of the bat, but that was forced upon him by Bumrah.
New Zealand have an issue at 3. They really do. I know he's got all the ability in the world, Rachin Ravindra, but I'm not quite sure what he's trying to do here, really. He turns the face as if he's trying to whip it through the onside. Can't take liberties off great bowlers, and that was taking one. two of the quickest in the World Cup, these two. Of all the sides who compete in the World Cup, this partnership, I'd back them against most in terms of running between the wickets.
Yeah, not wrong. Sure, many would be quicker. Glenn Phillips and Tim Seifert not too far behind. Yeah, that number 3 spot's a tough one for New Zealand from Ravindra's point of view. Their worry is they don't want all the left-handers through the middle of the order. But I go back to the point I make about your bowling lineup. You just play your best players. Play your best players. If they happen to be left-handers, they happen to be left-handers. Chapman's a lefty. Santner, you know that Bracewell will come back into the mix. Probably Neesham as well. So they're all the 4 left-handers will probably be in New Zealand's number 1 lineup.
Missing leg, going down leg side, and I think there might have been a touch on it as well. So a couple of reasons to say no there. 108 for 2 at the halfway point.
Confirm everything that Smithy just said. Big inside edge to that front pad. He knew it as well.
Two players in pretty good nick at the crease here, so you would imagine New Zealand just have to keep pushing forward here. It's a great start, but they just have to be greedy. Keep coming at India hard.
And so you've got to maybe single out a couple of bowlers that you're going to go after. Kuldeep was taken for plenty in the one-day games. So maybe they should look to go after him again. Take a few chances against him. Bumrah, you can't take too many chances against him.
One bounce and 4. Thought he got it better than that initially. Then I heard Simon Dole to my left saying out, out. Not true, but not by much.
Well, that's exactly what they've got to do now. They've got to take a few chances. They've got to single out the first one. It's on the leg stump. Yes, it is the wrong one. You've got to hit it again the third, but you've got to take your chances.
Look at a great athlete would have dived, done something. Just felt Harshit Rana there. He was a little bit caught. When you are indecisive, just for a moment, you lose the ability to either go or commit to it. At that stage there, but earlier, if he dived, got a hand to it, and dropped it or anything, you'd say, great effort, terrific effort. It was kind of a no man's land, doing nothing.
Of course, they haven't got Ishan Kishan tonight, and remember just how good he's been square of the wicket, patrolling the boundary. Rinku on one side, the little guys, Rinku and him, have been amazing with their athleticism and their speed to the ball. Great assets for India. They've transformed this fielding outfit. Tim Seifert, only the second 50 for New Zealand in this series.
And how well he's batted. Right from the first ball, look at the play. As the ball was delivered, if it was on the leg side, he was going leg side. If the ball was on the offside, he was clobbering it through the covers. And then when the spinners came on, dropped the sweep shot to very good effect.
bonus ball because of the wide earlier in the over, so cash in on that. Make Kuldeep pay for that mistake.
अपनी हड्डी खा लेंगे.
Not too bad an over, just 7 from it in the context. Catch it! 8 will be the end result, and it's 116 for 2.
It's nice to have choices in life. Tony here chooses to get a new phone every year by exchanging his old one. Don't worry, Mike, you can get a new phone too. Big love to Gordon, who chooses a lifetime warranty to keep his phone lasting longer, just like his romance. Oh, love it. Keep your phone lasting longer, or you can get a new phone every year. The choice is yours at Vodafone.
Terrific start, that power play. They used it to perfection. New Zealand lost a couple of wickets in the ensuing overs. Now looking to kick into gear again. These last 9 overs. This is a beautiful city on the waterfront. Beautiful beaches.
कल सही में शाम के बने तो बढ़िया लगे हम लोग.
India looking to turn the screws. New Zealand at one stage 11.44. They're 11.1. India drag that back. They can drag it back to 10s, 200. For them, you would think is a real possibility the way they're hitting at the moment. That's what they've done of late. That's quite beautifully played. It really is. Used to pace, and he is in rare touch, Phillips.
The quicker you bowl, the more you will be taken for runs like that. This is an innovative shot. Look at that. There's no fielder there. There is a fielder there, but he just gets it just away from that fielder.
Ashdeep, that short fine leg, 2 yards either side of him. It's another boundary, straight to him.
He's a powerful player, Jim Seifert, from the ground. A couple of big ones over long on. Well, I thought it was one of the shots of the innings so far.
I'll get 2 here, these 2. I'll get more than that actually, because that timing was superb. It is just coming off the middle of the bat for Glenn Phillips right now.
Yeah, magnificent shot. When somebody like a Hardik Pandya can't get to it, it just tells you how powerful the shot was, how well placed it was too. Hardik Pandya is very, very quick. But he had no chance. Beautifully struck, beautifully placed.
Eight off 4 balls. Can they get another boundary here? Phillips dispatch it. Ayo! I don't think there's 2 there. Not for that Abhishek. He's a good athlete as well. On the ground for 1. So 10 from that, over the 12th in fact. And New Zealand's still going at over 10 and over at 126 for 2.
Two powerful batters at the crease. 126 for 2 New Zealand. New Zealand would want that the scoring tempo doesn't come down, because the run rate has come down a notch. Arshdeep Singh back in the attack. Starts with a slower one. Seifert was trying to be cheeky, had to wait twice, but didn't make any contact.
But he had so much of time, he could have actually played that shot twice. And made up his mind what he wanted to do way too early.
Very defined premeditation from everyone concerned. The bowler knew what he was trying to do, the batsman knew what he was trying to do, the bowler, and in the end, it's a dot for India.
Should go straight to hand. Rinku Singh safe as ever. And Tim Seifert and his blitzkrieg comes to an end. The change of bowling has worked for India, and Arshdeep Singh picks up a wicket.
That's batting so well, is looking so destructive again. Tim Seifert with a piece of delivery. Doesn't get a lot of it. Flat bats it down Rinku's throat. A good knock. Very well made. 62 of 36 by Tim Seifert. The 126 for 3 New Zealand.
£15 reward when you switch your home insurance. And when you keep switching your household bills with us, we'll give you
3 down, New Zealand. Mark Chapman in at number 5. It's been his most productive spot for New Zealand in T20s. And he's up and running.
Played well, Tim Seifert tonight. He did what he had to do, and that's make India pay in the power play, and that's one of his great assets. The first ball for 6, trying to flat that down the ground, and didn't get the elevation that's required. And Rinku is in the action for the second time already, making a statement in the outfield. So New Zealand have still got, of course, Daryl Mitchell, and got Mitchell Santner, who's been in pretty good touch himself at 7.
He's in the circle now, Rinku Singh, as Glenn Phillips takes strike. Shot fine, push back.
Yeah, Tim Seifert batted beautifully, but again, something that we were talking about initially, the line that Indian bowlers bowl to Tim Seifert, anything outside off stump, that's where he wants you to bowl. When you get a little straighter, the strike rate comes down a tad bit. That's what Indian bowlers did very well the previous game. But I thought in this game, give him a little bit extra room outside off stump. Even though it's something that you pointed out earlier on, Karthik, his technique was a little different, playing those straightish deliveries, taking his front foot outside leg stump, opening himself up. Yeah, look at that strike rate. When you go straight at him, it's around 40. The moment you go outside off stump, that goes up to 313 and 200.
अंदर घुसाए खुद बात रहा
Who scores in the 30s for Chapman the series? And an effort delivery to finish the over. Just 2 of it, 128 for 3.
अरे प्लेट ही है रे चलाने के लिए
Every wicket has fallen after that score reached 100, and that net run rate, run rate has come down
हरकत देखो
below 10 now.
ताने कर रिजे कर
India will be very happy with their effort, especially in the last 3 overs. The invitation was there, and it's been launched into the orbit. Fine hit by Glenn Phillips.
Good form continues for Glenn Phillips. The confidence to hit through the ball has been so evident in this T20 series in particular. It's a length delivery, and he makes it easy for himself by just swiveling that back foot round. He takes it off the ground and swivels it round just to make the shot a little bit easier.
Choose the call. Once again, Abhishek pretty quick to the ball there. I think these are small boundaries, so twos are not going to be seen too often. 106 for Glenn Phillips, the third New Zealander to reach this mark. And you mentioned the new Glenn Phillips, Ian. Maybe it's the responsibility of batting at number 4. Often you saw him at 6 and 7, so that requires a sort of a different mindset. Once you're at number 4, you do have that aggressive mindset, and he's mixed it with a bit of caution, even in this format.
I like the new Glenn Phillips, and I like the responsibility, and I think that's a really good move from the selectors to say to him, we're giving you a new role. It's going to be a role where you're going to have to bat for longer periods of time, which means you're going to have to be more responsible. I like it. And sometimes you do that to a player who's like Phillips. He's such a busy player. You give him responsibility and he plays with it. That's it. And quite often, I've seen that in the past as well. He might languish at 6 or 7. You play like a 6 or 7. You've got 2 or 3, maybe 4 overs to bat, unless your team's in trouble. You put him in there and say 4 is a very, very key role. And those numbers reflect responsibility.
Also, how you approach the middle overs in T20 cricket has also changed. You can't afford to go soft on the bowlers during that middle phase. You still need batters. You can hit 4s and 6s just like that during middle overs. In fact, no! That's a brilliant catch by Rinku Singh again. His third of the evening. And what a wonderful catch this is. The longest time, at least I thought, that's going to find the boundary.
And the commentator's curse kicks in again, just lauding the way that Phillips has been playing. And when he played that initially, I thought he hit it straight enough to get away with it. But then I factored in Rinku, the Rinku factor. And that speed across the turf to the left gets himself to a good position in the end. He makes it look very, very simple. And Kuldeep is happy. Phillips, far from it. New Zealand are teetering here, and it's not a good look. 137 for 4 all of a sudden.
It's nice to have choices in life. Big love to Gordon, who chooses a lifetime warranty to keep... Oh, love it. Keep your phone lasting longer, or you could get a new phone every year. The choice is yours at Vodafone.
Yeah, from a position of great strength, New Zealand suddenly find themselves at 137 for 4. 4 wickets, lost for just 37 runs, and in comes Daryl Mitchell. Kuldeep Yadav, although he's gone at 10 runs and over, he's picked up a couple of key wickets when India needed it. Backward shot leg in the form of Harshit Rana. Starts with a reverse sweep.
Ôi.
हातात तो खूप आहे ना.
Yeah, one thought as much looking on from here in the combat that it was going towards or beyond the boundary. Once again, a fine catch by Rinku Singh. And to his left, he's very quick across the turf.
तो पता पुराना फुटबॉल
Bit of a jump. Takes it in the air. One would have to look at that other catch as well, which he took, which was very close to the combox. He was hurtling down the ground and still kept his hands very steady at the time of taking a catch. So definitely somebody who's kept in the hot zones for the bowler. 11 runs of that over, 139 for 4.
bầu cái mình đừng sai nhiều cái mình đừng sai nhiều.
It's Antna. He's batted up. He's timed the ball beautifully in the series in that late charge for New Zealand. 5 bowlers used. Ashdeep back in the side. Harshit back in the bowling attack. Round the stumps to Chapman.
See him?
Beautifully judged.
Yeah,
Rinku Singh. It's deceptively quick. 14 meters. Didn't go very high that ball. Covered a lot of ground to take that catch. Made it look so easy in the end, Rinku Singh. Ian, you've been saying that number 4 is quite a crucial spot, which is what Glenn Phillips has. Even the number 3 spot is of crucial importance, absolutely crucial.
Well, you can see what Ishan Kishan has done in this series for India. These are New Zealand's wickets before. They were 100 for none. Conway looking to hit over extra cover, couldn't get it right. I'd have to ask Rachin Ravindra what he was doing there because I couldn't quite work it out myself. Flat batted down the ground from Seifert, and then straight after that, Rinku making a difficult catch. Looked pretty simple to get rid of the dangerous Phillips. 4 very quickly, New Zealand. It's nicely played. It really is beautifully timed. And not even Rinku can cut that off.
Yeah, it is a wonderful shot. On the rise, timed it so very well. A much needed boundary here.
How many Rinkus are there on the field? He's everywhere. Everywhere the ball goes, Rinku's there.
Pulled pretty powerfully. That's why I said he's always in the hot zones. He's a whippet. He runs pretty fast. He covers a lot of ground. Seems like he's got a super energy. And that is one of the reasons why when you look at this catch, we were right there when we saw him running down, just steady himself, very steady hands. And look at the distance. He was at the boundary when he started. And then steadies himself. No wonder he's pretty happy with his effort. 3 catches so far. I suppose we've all been making the point for Daryl Mitchell to be at number 3 because he's in good form. Somebody around whom the rest of the New Zealand batters can bat. And also, just looking at him, Smithy, he doesn't seem the type who can get to the crease and start hitting the first ball for 6. He needs a bit of time.
Probably that's their reasoning for not having him at 3. In other words, not being able to use the power play overs because he's going to take a little bit of time to get set.
Oh, he's got an answer for that. He was in the slot. And it's in the second tier. 13 runs of that over. 152 for 4 after 15.
Life's a bit longer. With Vitality Life Insurance, it can last up to 5 years longer.
सरस्वती कहाँ में
New Zealand have hit 8 sixes. The previous one from Daryl Mitchell was the longest. 99-meter hit.
पापा खाली है थोड़ी देर
Ravi Bishnoi. Has he timed it well? No. Straight into the hands. Another New Zealand batter finds the fielder. And Ravi Bishnoi, who was expensive till now, will be super delighted to pick up a wicket.
Yes, he got for 38 off his 3 overs, 13 runs per over basically, and now he gets rid of Chapman, and New Zealand find themselves having a new player come out again in the form of their captain, Mitchell Santner, bottom of the bat, so he didn't quite get the timing right. The intention was to put it way beyond the boundary, and he has perished in the process of trying to do it, Mark Chapman. So for him, just 9 from 8 tonight, and every time New Zealand look to break clear, India nab a wicket. It's 152 for 5.
At Money Supermarket, our mission is to help you be better off. That's why we'll give you a £15 reward when you switch. And more rewards. See how much you could save today with Money Supermarket.
Sophie asked only for tranquility. A wine cellar, private chef, and visiting DJ. Oliver's Travels. Why do ordinary?
Comes in at a time where his team desperately needs him. Scores of 20 not out, 47 not out, and 27 of 17 his previous 3 outings. He was timing it beautifully in the other 3 games.
Captain's put himself in a slip for that very delivery. Down on one knee, the back knee hits the ground as he tries to get elevation and hit it. Perhaps a little bit squarer than it went.
Was there an under edge? Was there an under edge? Definitely feels so. South is going to leave the left-hander. Yeah, inside edge, inside edge. Had enough time actually to have a go at it second time. Solid this time and gets off the mark with a boundary.
Well, he may well have got a bottom edge through to Sanju Samson, who couldn't handle it. But aside from that, Mitchell Santner, well, he's batted way too many deliveries in this series so far because New Zealand have failed at the bat in front of him. He has timed the ball well. People say he should be at 8. I think he's more than capable of being a 7 against most sides. Against most teams. Very, very handy 7. His batting has come on leaps and bounds.
Times it beautifully once again. Straight over. Another effortless shot from Santner. Keep talking about his timing. Just look at that. Magnificent. Just pings off his bat. Can be a pretty cruel game for bowlers. 2 for 18 in the previous outing. 1 for 49 of his 4 overs for Ravi Bishnoi this time around. New Zealand 163 for 5.
बैठे हुए नहीं लग रहा है तो लगता है चलो ओपन प्लेस हो गया ऑटो वालों हम तीन लोग बैठे कि आगे भी लड़की डायरी का देख लेते आगे बहुत ही थी
In the last over, was there a little underage or
ऑटो
not?
वालों भी हम लोग
Thought there might have been, but ultra edge shows nothing. Bumrah's back. He's bowled 2 overs for 15. Couple of 1 wicket of Rachin Ravindra, and a chance with a direct hit. It's a great dive from Santner, but it's also a brilliant throw. And Mitch Santner walking back like he thinks he might be gone.
Batter is short and the wickets are broken. Thank you very much for decision for the big screen.
It's a brilliant piece of fielding. Great awareness to go to the bowler's end. Mitchell called Santner through. Santner wasn't ready, took off late. And Hardik Pandya, what a magnificent throw. New Zealand skipper goes for 11. 163 for 6.
Sign up before.
The pillar. बिस्कुट से बना हुआ पारोटी
Heated pool.
Over for the last 25 deliveries. Zach Folks. It's the new batter. Seen too much of Jasprit Bumrah. Normally, expect a nose and a toes approach, but it's Mitchell on strike. Pulls it powerfully. Good work out in the deep.
Got into position so well, but it was a slower delivery. You can't keep Hardik Pandya out of the game, can you? Out of action. Look at that. The awareness where to throw. The awareness where to throw. You saw that just a little bit of hesitation from the New Zealand skipper. And Hardik Pandya has a shy at the bowler's end and knocks the stumps out to run the New Zealand skipper out. What a cricketer.
Good short ball, a really good short ball. Polite inquiry.
I think the previous one was about 125 kilometers per hour. This is way quicker.
But Sanju wants it. Sanju wants the skipper to go upstairs, and so he does for the IDFC First Bank DRS.
Third umpire to director. We have a player review for caught behind. Original decision is not out. I have checked the field. It's a fair delivery. Front on please. Ball is very close to the glove. Can we have a try, please? 2 1 waiting for Raj. Here it comes. Gap between bat and ball and bat and glove. Keep it going, please. Clear gap between ball and the glove. Thank you. I'll go back to Rohan. You can stay with your decision. You're on screen now. You can signal not out.
Wasn't far away, but a good decision. It's 2 from 3 deliveries in this over so far.
And one can understand why they went for it as well, because Mitchell's been in such good form. He hasn't got the opportunities in the 3 matches so far because he's batting down at number 6. But if the wicket people felt that there was just a little deflection, they've got their reviews left, 2 reviews left. So why don't you go for it? Go for 1. Look at that. Scoring at a good rate, but he hasn't had too many deliveries to face. Batting low down the order at 6.
Yorker, another quick single. I just asked Mohan before stats to bring up Daryl Mitchell by batting position, because I felt that number 3 would have been a better spot for him if New Zealand are looking to change things out a little bit with Rachin Ravindra. He's only had 4 innings, at number 3. His record's very modest. Number 6, pretty poor. He averages 11 batting at number 6 in T20 Internationals. His best 2 positions have been 4 and 5. They obviously want Phillips at 4. They want Chapman in the side. I still think 3 wouldn't be a bad option for him, because riding on the back of the form that he showed through the ODIs, it gives him the best opportunity. Slow ball. It's away from Sanju Samson. They'll run a bye to finish off, but really tidy from Jasprit Bumrah. 5 from it, 168.
The Tuscan Villa really brought... Why do ordinary?
Vitality is... percent off hotels on Expedia. And free cinemas. Tickets, treats. I'm rather fond of them, aren't you? Vitality, your health's best friend.
His numbers in T20 cricket isn't that great. Yes, his preferred position would be 4 and 5 in this format. And the reason why everyone's talking about him at number 3 is not because of what he's done in this format in the past. It's because of what he's done in the last series in the ODI format, about his form, his current form, and that's the reason most of us are saying maybe he should be the one should be batting at number 3. He was magnificent during that ODI series, 352 in 3 innings.
Well, you go by form, isn't it? And particularly in the limited overs version, where you go. And in this, you've only got 20 overs. So the man in form batting at 6, he doesn't get that many deliveries unless there's a collapse at the top of the order and you've lost 4 wickets within the first 4 or 5 overs. And which is the reason why the argument is this is his ODI career. 900s and 1250s. Very consistent, very aggressive. Very well organized as well.
Is what was up for grabs at the start of the AFC First Bank T20 series, made from cricket bats, old cricket bats, cricket balls, the leather, the willow. Magnificent looking trophy, recycled and repurposed, and it just got a beautiful cricket theme to it. Nicely played. Folks just gets that one away over a wide-ish mid-off for 4.
The mid-off was in the 30-meter circle, so that shot was always
बनिए
on.
तो है लेकिन
Might have
देखो
just come to
कैसे
bat
पैदा
like
हुए
Fox has, but this was a nice low full toss. Arshdeep
या
does
फिर अपने अपने नियम
tend to
बनिए
bowl a
थे
fair number of full tosses. When he gets that Yorker wrong, the attempted Yorker goes a little too full. And good height as well, just between the knee and the ankles. Easy to hit, put it away.
Yeah, back to plan A, I think. Will it be now or not? No, he may be changing his mind. But plan A might have been wide pace-off and wide Yorkers with a third back, but maybe looking at
धनगढ़ी करो ना तभी
straight Yorkers. Short ball, pace-off. The other option should be a couple.
Well, they got off to a brilliant start, 100 to no loss when the first wicket fell. Looking to get a lofted extra cover drive, caught in the deep. And then, Sachin Ravindra deceived by a slower delivery. Simple catch again to Rinku Singh there.
Whipped leg side. And that is the first maximum for Zach Folks.
Well, that's timed all right. Couple of boundaries of 4 over mid-off, and now short arm drive. Amazing piece of timing there. I started really well this innings, going at 12s, and that's come down to around 10. Every time it seems like New Zealand will cut loose, and India bounces back with a wicket. That's been the story so far. The run rate still hovering around that 10, half 10.
Next 3 to 4. At 137. 152. Chapman went. Santner run out at 163. Brilliantly by Hardik Pandya. But the view from my bedroom, the hotel.
Is the camera in your room?
Well, I don't know. I hope not. Not that I've been doing anything wrong, Deep, but you know.
Let's make sure it's faced the right way.
Let's face straight up. Straight up. It's a tough chance. But he just doesn't drop them. Rinku, sign him up for the Attenberg.
It had to be Rinku Singh. His 4th this evening. And again, he makes it look so easy. It's the toughest in the game when you have to run backwards over your shoulder, have to judge it. He does it again to perfection. Look at that technique, running sideways. Another brilliant catch from Rinku Singh. And Zach Folks gone for 13. It's 182 for 7 New Zealand.
That's why. And when you keep switching your household bills, we'll give you even more rewards.
Day with Money Supermarket.
Does he find the gap? He does, Mitchell. For 4. That is powerful.
Again, a slower delivery. You can see that halfway down. He very seldom bowls that halfway down. When you bowl it halfway down, gives the batter the opportunity to pick his spot, and that's exactly what Daryl Mitchell has done. One of those rare errors from Jasprit Bumrah.
Yeah, they've just moved Kuldeep, who was at deep mid-wicket. He's now come to long off. And Rinku's come to long on. I think Ravi Bishnoi's moved to deep mid-wicket. That's out towards Bishnoi. Not timed well enough. Should be a couple. Rinku Singh, just the sixth Indian fielder after Ajinkya Rahane to take 4 catches in a T20 international.
This is the 4th one, and this is a very good one because the way he kept his balance, kept his eyes on the ball, ran back sideways, so he could cover ground as well. Very good technique that.
अरे तुम आई जाओ हम तो वही आई ना चल ही ना पाएंगे तो वही ठीक है अभी चक्कर बहुत आएंगे
That's big. That's big enough to go over the head of Ravi Bishnoi. 6 more to Mitchell.
Very seldom do you have just Bumrah being hit for 6s, a couple of 6s in the same game. Tim Seifert hit a magnificent straight 6, and now this is over mid-wicket. Again, the slower delivery. But he was waiting for his, anticipating it quite well, is Daryl Mitchell.
They should get 2 now. Courtesy of the right boot of Bumrah.
Talking about the technique here. You've got to make sure you keep your eyes on the ball all the time. You never ever take your eyes off it. That's exactly what he did. It's absolutely a brilliant thing to see.
It's down to him again. Great applause there from Hardik Pandya, who probably thought he might have been in line for the Attenberg smart saver tonight with that brilliant run out. But Rinku's now got 4 catches, so you're probably thinking he's just tipped the scales in his favour. Feel a bit sorry for Hardik again tonight.
I thought, Simon, you were a new ball bowler. Didn't know you were a leg spin googly bowler. Trying to throw one up in the air.
मारा करे के 2-3 थप्पड़ ऐज के रहे तो सही भी जी है बहुत ज्यादा नालायकपना हुई लगी हैं
Edged and away to the boundary for 4. Good fortune for Henry brings up the 200 for New Zealand. And then over to go 201 for 7.
19 runs off his first 3 overs, and then 19 off his last over. That's what can happen in this format of the game, even to the greatest and even to the best.
And over to go. New Zealand looked like 220, 230 was on the cards. After 9 overs, they've reached the 100 mark. Constant fall of wickets post that. Just pegged them back enough. Big over here, 215, somewhere around that mark. Not sure it'll be enough, but gives them an opportunity in the game, 215 to 220.
If New Zealand do get to that 210 or 215, as you suggest, maybe quite handy because India is kind of playing with a different combination in this game. They're going in with a batter shot. They've got an extra bowler in Arshdeep in place of Ishan Kishan, who's got a niggle. That's exactly what Surya said at the toss as well. The batters need to take a little more responsibility.
Well, pinch one, but it would have been run out if Harshit had managed to grab the ball. Couldn't do it.
The idea was always to try and take a single and give Mitchell the strike. You can see Mitchell from the non-striker's end. This one's gone not too far away from Harshit.
Straight and 6 for Mitchell.
Well, that's the reason why Henry was going to run either way, even if Harshit had his ball in his hand, because this is exactly why Mitchell is such a dangerous player. 34 of just 16 deliveries that he's faced. What a six this is.
Yeah, missed the Yorker. Just a little margin there. We had 209 with 3 more deliveries to go.
Straight to long off. Just one bounce. Sides against coming in. Is that Shreyas Iyer on the field? It is Shreyas. Who's he on for? Just trying to see who's not on. I can see Bumrah down here, Shivam Dubey, Arshdeep's here, Hardik Pandya is off. Either one over to Daryl Mitchell for the last ball of the innings.
I did want to get back on strike, Daryl Mitchell. I know whether we've got this or not, but he was sprinting to get back on strike. He's finally managed to get on strike. Keep an eye on him. Before Matt Henry plays the ball, he's already halfway through.
It's a new bat. Evan Jacobs taking the bats out, but they were the toss actually, expecting Lockie Ferguson to play the last game. Finn Allen expecting to play there, if they can, they're close to their starting lineup for the first World Cup game, which is against Afghanistan and Chennai on the 8th of February. Anyone that might be missing from that, if selected, to be Bracewell. Last ball. Short, wide, and in the gap. Kuldeep. Couldn't quite get around to it. So New Zealand will post 215 for 7 at the end of their 20 overs, having been